Hello everyone, welcome to the January 4th, 2015 edition of the Astrology News Report. I'm your intrepid host, Ron Berger. So let's take a look at the upcoming planetary patterns and predictions and see what's in store in the heavens for January 4th to January 11th and beyond. In this segment, I will be discussing the Mars-Neptune conjunction for each of the rising signs. But first, let's acknowledge that today, January 4th, is the full moon. The full moon is the culmination of the lunar energy for the month. The month takes on the qualities of the nakshatra, the lunar sign of the full moon. Since the full moon is in Purnavasu this lunar month, the qualities of Purnavasu color the energy of the month. Purnavasu is known for having success on the second attempt. It's the energy of doing things over. So keep that in mind for the next 2 weeks. This energy pattern changes when the next lunar month begins with the new moon, which will be on January 20th. As mentioned in last week's show, today, January 4th, is the day that Mars changes signs, moving from Capricorn to Aquarius. While in Aquarius, Mars encounters Neptune. This is a somewhat problematic combination. Mars is the planet of action, fast results, aggression, and conflict. Neptune is the planet of dreams, the irrational, confusion, deception, and disappointment. Putting the two of them together indicates ill-informed actions leading to unintended consequences. There can even be deliberate deception involved. Attempts at victory turn into defeat. Therefore, this is not going to be the best time to initiate any important new project. The exact conjunction of Mars and Neptune will be on January 19th at 11 degrees Aquarius. Mars will be in Aquarius until February 12th. So now I will go through the zodiac and analyze some of what can manifest from the Mars-Neptune combination for each rising sign. Admittedly, most of what follows is negative. The idea is that being forewarned will keep you alert to the potential for a problem arising in the part of your life that corresponds to the house position of this transit in your natal chart. For Aries rising charts, Mars and Neptune are in your 11th house. Since the 11th house is the house of goals and ambitions, and Mars is your ruling planet, Aries rising people have to be especially careful of not letting their hopes and dreams lead to actions that result in unanticipated consequences. There could also be some misunderstanding with, or even deception from, a friend or associate during this transit. And beware of self-delusion regarding any expected profit or reward. If you are Taurus rising, the Mars-Neptune combination will be in your 10th house, the house of professional activities, business, public actions, and relationship with boss or authorities. Any actions in this area of your life during this transit must be carefully considered before beginning. Better yet, put it off until after mid-February if possible. An interaction with a superior, like your boss, or a government person will likely be misinterpreted or worse, misrepresented, causing disappointment or even loss. Similarly, efforts to assert yourself in your business or in the public arena will meet with discouraging results. For Gemini rising people, Mars and Neptune will be in your 9th house, the house of good fortune, beliefs and religion, father and guru, meritorious deeds, and long-distance travel. Your idealism and attempts to do a good deed can backfire. There could be deception in your relationship with your father or guru, leading to disappointment. This is not a good time to go on a long-distance journey. Cancer rising charts have the Mars-Neptune combo transiting in the 8th house. Planets transiting in the 8th house are inclined to give unpleasant results. Be especially careful of any financial involvements with others. There could even be deception regarding a contract or benefit that you were expecting, such as from an insurance settlement or interest on a bank loan. Any clandestine activity on your part could seriously backfire, leading to scandal and humiliation. If you are Leo rising, Mars and Neptune will affect your 7th house, the house of marriage and other one-on-one relationships, including business partners and clients. The planet of combat transiting through the 7th house does nothing to encourage smooth operations in this area. Neptune makes matters worse. This transit is problematic, causing suspicion and misunderstandings with your partner, which may go so far as deliberate deception and subversive actions initiated by your counterpart. Virgo rising people will have Mars and Neptune transiting in the 6th house, the house of health and disease, competitors and enemies, employment, co-workers, and employees. Mars rules infections, inflammations, and injuries. Neptune adds an element of confusion, which may go so far as misdiagnosis. Best to get a second opinion. There's potential for a misunderstanding at your place of employment, or someone at your job may actually be engaged in deceptive practices. Although Mars transiting in the 6th house is generally good for solving problems, the addition of Neptune's energy makes it more likely that your solutions will not lead to success. Mars and Neptune are transiting in the 5th house for Libra rising people. If you have children, with this energy pattern, there's a strong potential for some misunderstanding. Your child may even be trying to deceive you. This is the house of love and romance, and actions in that area are more likely to backfire at this time. For speculation and investment, Mars brings impatience, and Neptune causes delusion. So best to not initiate anything on that front until the transit is over. If you are Scorpio rising, the Mars-Neptune combo is transiting in your 4th house, the house of home, domestic life, vehicle, comfort, and stability, and your mother and her relationship with her. Mars, the planet of combat, transiting through the 4th house of domestic life is like the bull in the china shop, but it could be useful for home projects. However, with Neptune here, any efforts are likely to end up with unexpected problems. Your relationship with other occupants in the home, as well as with your mother, will tend to be unsatisfactory. Of course, any actions pertaining to the acquisition of a new home, or car, or property are best put off until this transit is over. For Sagittarius rising people, Mars and Neptune are transiting in the 3rd house, the house of desires and efforts, everyday actions, use of skills and talents. Generally, Mars, the planet of action, transiting in this sector of the chart, is considered good for going after what you want. But again, with disappointing Neptune here simultaneously, the outcomes are likely to fall short or lead to unintended consequences. Your efforts to assert yourself in your relationship with close relatives or with your neighbors are more likely to be misunderstood or even subverted by others. Capricorn charts will have Mars and Neptune moving through the 2nd house, the house of family, income, personal finances, and speech. Purchases made at this time will be based on impulse, backed up by wishful thinking, leading to disappointment. Misunderstandings with family members are likely. Mars transiting in the second house of voice leads to harsh speech, and with Neptune, what you say will likely be misinterpreted by others. If you are Aquarius rising, the Mars-Neptune combo is transiting through your ascendant, the house of ego. Mars in the rising sign demands action across the board. Best to have an agenda of things to do. But with Neptune here, you have to be especially careful of going off half-cocked. The impatience of Mars to get going, while under the influence of delusional Neptune, will bring unanticipated consequences. On the other hand, if your actions are selfless, intended for the benefit of others only, you may indeed succeed. And last in line, Pisces rising people have Mars and Neptune transiting in the 12th house, the house of the subconscious, expense and loss, unknown people, and hidden activities. Mars transiting through this part of the chart is especially problematic. The ancients warn that it represents an attack from a hidden enemy. In other words, someone working against you from behind your back. The addition of Neptune makes the Mars effect even more pernicious. Even your own subconscious can become your enemy, bringing free-floating anxiety and paranoia. Interactions with strangers or foreigners could lead to unpleasant consequences. As with all negative transits, the idea is to keep a watch on the part of your life that will be affected and take appropriate steps to minimize the damage. In the case of Mars, the action planet, mostly this entails holding back on the action. In other words, postponing new endeavors until the unfavorable energy pattern passes. Okay, that'll do it for this week. Thanks for visiting astrologynewsreport.com. I'll be posting updates during the week, as usual, on Twitter @AstroNewsReport.